Hello, and welcome back to Mindfully Rich Podcast, your weekly look at life and finances with a twist. I'm your host, RichE, and y'all already know how we start the episodes off. Gotta start it off with gratitude. Thank y'all so much. Y'all know I appreciate y'all for supporting me all this time. We have made it to the end of the year. So I just want to give a big up to all of y'all who have motivated me and kept me accountable to keep me consistent every single week. And y'all will notice that this episode is on time. And side note to that, it took me to the end of the year to really gain like a schedule for the podcast, to really get my stuff together. Like for 41 weeks, I've been sitting here trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. And I am so excited to announce I know what works. I even have a rhythm on social media, y'all. I've been posting. Oh my goodness, if y'all not following the podcast on IG, you better, because I am finally doing good on there. Check me out on IG at mindfully_rich_podcast. Like I'm at least posting 2 times a week, y'all. No, not 2 times a week, 2 times a day. Okay, y'all know it was so bad that I wasn't even posting nothing. So I have finally got a grasp on what it is that I want to do, how I want to, market the podcast. So I'm excited, y'all. And like I said, we have made it. It's really the 42nd week, but the 41st episode. Because remember, I don't know if y'all remember back in, I think it was June or July, we had Blackout Tuesday where I didn't really do an episode. I just did like 3 minutes. So that's the reason why it's 42 weeks that you'll see that there are podcasts listed on there, but it's actually 41 episodes. And so before we get into today's conversation, if you haven't already, make sure you check out last week's episode. And that was the scamming on IG. And it featured my fine friend, China Lovelace. Thank you, China. She was here and we just chopped it up and we talked about some identity theft that occurred and happened to her on IG. And so if you haven't checked that episode out, you gonna want to go back and go listen, okay? Because she told us what was going on. The transparency was there. And also we talked about what you can do to rectify a situation if you happen to go through that same situation. So make sure you go check that out. And once again, thank you, China Lovelace. We appreciate you being here and just letting us into your life. So y'all always hear me talking about my fine friends. So I had one of them join me. And so next year, I hope to get more of my friends on here. My best friend, I'm going to get her on here. And then also I'm going to do an episode probably where I can get it's 4 of us total, all 3 of my fine friends in here with me, and we can do an episode together. So look for that in the new year. Okay. And so speaking of years, y'all, we at the end of the year. How y'all feeling about it? I don't know if y'all started the year off like 2020 gonna be my year. And you know what 2020 was giving, okay? Nothing. But I'm not gonna say, 2021 gonna be my year, but I am walking into the new year with a positive attitude. And I hope all y'all are walking into the new year the same. All we can do is be optimistic of what's to come. And that's all I'm doing, because 2020 for me wasn't all bad. There have been bad moments, but I'm one of those people who likes to see the light, even if there are things that were wrong. I like to look at what I've learned. And y'all, this year I have learned a lot. I have had to sit down with myself, understand myself, like my voice, the inside of you. Like, I don't know, sometimes we're able to, I'm not even going to say sometimes, a lot of times we're able to quiet down the voice inside of us that's telling us what it is that it really wants us to do. We're normally distracted because we out, we're doing stuff. And this year we had to silence a lot of those outside voices because we were forced to be inside. And then being inside of your house, not around people that you're normally used to being around, we were secluded from all of those distractions. And when I had all of those distractions quiet down, not that they were bad distractions and, not that y'all had bad distractions, but it was something inside of me that was still wanting to get out, but I hadn't been listening to it until now when they were quieted. So that's my take on it. And so I've learned a lot in 2020. I brought y'all this podcast. So that's the reason why I can't say that it's been all bad. there's been lots of bad things that have occurred, but I still can find some of the blessings that have happened, in the midst of all the sadness. Okay. And so we at the end of the year. And so this is going to be the year end wrap up episode. Is this the end? By New Edition is the music title inspiration. Side note, let me tell you something about this song. Okay. And one of my fine friends, Bubblegum, me and her, we love R&B music. Right. And so anytime a song comes out and it's a sample, I'm like, that's this. Or if a song come out, she'd be like, what is that? What does that sound like? And I'll be like, oh, that's that. Or let me look it up. And so Is This the End by New Edition? I had no clue because they made that when they was babies, y'all. They was like little. That was when they had, something hadn't dropped yet. Y'all get it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying it. Right. I know. Right. And so that song, when I heard it on the New Edition story. And I pointed out P. Diddy. Remember P. Diddy and the Family? Some of y'all young, y'all may not remember that. But P. Diddy and the Family, they had a song. I can't remember the name of the song, but it started off, Mama told me one day it was gonna happen, but she never told me when. And then it kept going, and it's the same words of New Edition. And I was like, what? It was a rap song, though. It like goes into this nice little slow beat. It's cool, y'all. You have to go check it out. P. Diddy and the Family. I can't remember the name of the song, though. Okay, so you're gonna have to figure it out. But anyways, because we are at the year end wrap up, y'all know I can ramble sometimes, but let me go ahead and get into the business. Okay. And so for the beginning, I want to go ahead and start with the top 5 episodes of 2020. So y'all know I began this podcast on March 9th, 2020. So that's a special day for me. I told y'all probably on the first episode that this had been a labor of love. I had been wanting to start my podcast for years. And then I finally did it on March 9th, 2020. And my very first episode happens to be the episode that y'all have loved. It is the most popular episode. And it was called Ho. Y'all probably like, what? I missed the whole episode? If you did, you got to go back and go check it out. Y'all be listening to this episode. I think a lot of y'all just be listening to it on repeat. But it's the most popular one. And HO stands for happiness over everything. And so y'all know I like to take music titles and use those as the topic point. The song itself doesn't deal with the topic, but the song title deals with the title. Okay, so hopefully everybody got it, just in case you knew today. Okay, and so that song is by Janae Aiko and Miguel. And I absolutely love the song. The vibration of the song, the frequency is just good. And I talked about when I chose happiness over everything. And it was so fitting because that was my very first episode. But it was so funny because I thanked everybody and their mama for like the first 8 minutes. I was like, thank you to the water because I'm able to brush my teeth. Thank you to the carpet that's warming my feet. Like, yo, I was, it was so funny. I thanked everybody. But it's one of those things because I'm such a gracious person. I show so much gratitude because I be so excited, y'all. Y'all may hear me say this word so much, but I do. I don't have another word to really describe it. And I don't want to use another word. That's the word I like using. Okay. And so I showed so much gratitude in the beginning of the episode and y'all still like it. So that was the top most popular episode of 2020. Second most popular episode was Handsome and Wealthy. Should he pay? Remember, I took that scenario from Anthony O'Neill. He's a financial influencer on IG. And he talked about having a date budget. And I was asking, should he pay? And it's a really good episode. I'm not going to go over all of the details right here, but it did really good. I was so excited because I forwarded I think it was like a post or it was like the episode. I forwarded it to him and he shared it on his IG page. And I was so grateful. I was excited because I love when I can take a scenario that's on IG and then turn it into an episode. Child, next year, I am not going to be working hard. I'm going to be scouting through IG. If y'all see something on IG that y'all want me to talk about, DM me, okay? Because look, we working smarter, not harder, okay? Y'all should see me over here sometimes trying to come up with titles. I'll be like, what, right? And so that was a good episode. And the third most popular episode was Corona What? Corona Who? Plenty Money. The fourth most popular episode was Dear Mama. of course, y'all have seen 2 times this year, I've done an episode about my mom, and that's something that I'm going to continue to do. It may be 2, maybe 1, and maybe 3. I don't know yet. But each year, especially on her birthday, I'm going to ensure that I have some type of dedication episode to my mother, because if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't be here. And she's the reason why I'm the woman I am today. Okay? No matter what. And I've talked about me and my mom's relationship many of times on here. And so I love my mom to pieces. She is now my guardian angel. And so each and every year you will see a tribute episode, and it may be called Dear Mama every single year. Okay. And guess what? I could do that because guess whose show it is? Man. But that was the 4th most popular episode of 2020. And the 5th most popular episode of 2020 was Me, Myself, and I. And it was a self-care episode. And that was the first time I got a chance to see y'all really digging this self-care stuff. So I said in 2021, I'm going to ensure that I have more self-care episodes. Not a whole bunch of them, but I am going to include that in there just because we need self-care, y'all. We just do. And 2020 has been a hell of a year. Okay. And if you didn't do nothing, you should have made sure that you were taking care of yourself, grounding yourself so that you can be sane. We all need to unplug at some period of time. Okay. We need to just sit and chill, sat down, basically. Okay. So you will be seeing more self-care episodes coming in 2020. So those were the top 5 most popular episodes in 2020. And next I want to go ahead and do some shout outs to some states. Okay. I got to tell y'all the top 5 states, and the first most listened state was California, which makes sense. I live in Cali. So I'm so glad that all my Cali people is showing love. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all so much. And so the second most listened state was Texas. That is my best friend's state. And I have made some connections in Houston as well. Know lots of people out there listening, but I know my main support, my ace boon coon, my bestie, RichE. I know that she be holding me down out there with the listens. And so I truly, truly appreciate it. So thank you, Texas, for all the listening y'all doing. The third most listened state is Alaska, y'all. Alaska. Okay. People in Alaska. Alaska people. What's up, y'all? Okay. Thank y'all for listening, because I don't know who y'all is, but thank you. Okay, I got to tell y'all thank you. I appreciate it. Share this with the Alaskan people. Share, share, share. Y'all know what I like to say. Thank y'all so much for listening over there. And in 4th, which I'm a little surprised about, but you know what? I'm not going to complain. In 4th, the most listened state is Illinois. Illinois, y'all should have been like up there with California. I'm from the state of Illinois, okay? It made more sense. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'm cool. I was going to go off, but I decided I am above that. I appreciate y'all listening. All of my family and friends and whomever else is listening who I don't know, my friends in my head. Thank y'all so much for listening in Illinois. And the 5th most popular state that's listening is North Carolina. Come on and raise up. What? Take your shirt off. Put it around your head like a helicopter. Y'all know the song. Okay. Come on, North Carolina. Check this out. I don't know who out there, but hey, friends in my head. Okay. What's up? So that was very shocking for me to see who's listening to me. And I was like, this is pretty dope. I'm excited about this. So those were the top 5 states: California, Texas, Alaska, Illinois, and North Carolina, in that order. All right. And I want to go ahead and move on to the top 5 countries. Y'all heard me. Your girl is international over here. Okay. So go ahead and send them sponsorships and brand deals. Okay. Because 2021, we about to do it. Okay. The top 5 countries in order: the U.S., South Africa, United Kingdom, Canada. And in 4th place, there was a tie between Australia, Kenya, and the United Arab Emirates. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And then in 5th was Greece. Okay, all of these countries, what's up? Hey, look, okay. I am so glad that y'all could be friends in my, and y'all, I'm friends of y'all friends of mine in my head. I appreciate this. Y'all keep spreading this, okay? And check this out. It was like 20 more countries on there that I ain't even heard about, okay? And I've been through social studies, and I was like, where's that at, right? So I thought that this would be pretty cool just to share with y'all who's listening, because y'all be listening. I want to just share with y'all who is listening. And this is the year-end wrap-up, okay? So I want to also go into some wins that I discovered this year. And so this podcast is so personal to me, y'all. It is a labor of love. I do this podcast because I care about sharing my experiences with people so that y'all can understand how to make y'all money moves, right? And so I'm so thankful that I've had the courage to bring y'all this podcast, because it's been something that has been on my mind for years. And I'm so happy that I actually did something that I said I was going to do. And consistently, for 42 weeks, I've brought y'all this. And I just hate that my mom can't see this, but I know she can see it. Whew. But the win is that I actually did it, that I actually showed up. And each and every week, I brought y'all a different topic, not for just 1 minute. And it's been me by myself, except for 2 episodes. I had 2 guests. And I'm so excited that I've showed up each and every episode to ensure that y'all had something to learn from, y'all had an experience to take from, and hopefully y'all did something with it. And so that's been a win for me. And I'm still celebrating that. I'm excited for what's to come for next year, just to see if I can go 52 weeks. Now, let me go ahead and just stop myself there. It might not be 52 weeks. It may be 50. I'm going to shoot for 50, not 52. 50. Okay? I don't know how to be sad for too long, y'all. I got to make myself laugh. So starting the podcast itself and the consistency, that was a win. Building an audience. I didn't know who was going to listen, y'all. Check this out. I didn't know if y'all was going to show up. This is a podcast. It is hard to get people to listen to podcasts, okay? And especially in the environment that we're in, going through this pandemic. And to have y'all show up, to have all the thousands of downloads that I have, I am proud of myself. So building an audience has been a win for me this year. And then also starting the IG page, y'all, because I'm lazy. I don't like posting. I don't like posting. I don't like branding myself. I'm one of those people that just be like, I'm going to put it out. It's just supposed to do good. But I was like, dang, I got to do marketing. And so starting the IG page was a win. And recently this week, it's been a win for me that I've been posting twice a day. That is a win. So I'm just counting the wins where they come from. And so next I want to go into the lessons learned. Okay. Because child, I didn't learn some lessons. Okay. So got to keep reminding y'all, I brought y'all 41 real episodes, 42 weeks I showed up. And I realized that I needed to create a schedule. I don't know if y'all know this, but I started this podcast on my phone. Y'all, I was doing each and every episode on my phone until today. Okay, but check this out. We pay too much for us that have iPhones. We pay too much for these iPhones for them not to be working. So I put my iPhone to work. Okay, do y'all hear me? So I did those episodes. I did 40 episodes on my iPhone. And today I'm doing the episode on my MacBook. I wanted to try this out and it's going pretty good. And normally when I did the episodes on my iPhone, I would be in my room in the corner, sitting in my little chair. I always call it my Zeta corner because, I have a little corner in my room. It's cute. Right. And so I would sit there doing the episodes. But today I'm doing it on my MacBook downstairs at the table. And I had even bought like one of those ring lights and like the tripod. I was going to tape this and everything, but then I had started drinking wine. I didn't, I'm sitting here in my bra and stuff. And, I can't post this for y'all. Okay. This can go on the Mindfully Rich OnlyFans. Okay. It can't go on the regular stuff. So y'all won't get a taped episode today, but I am about to start recording the episodes and posting them on IG. So that way y'all can listen And it was a lesson that I learned just because I didn't realize how much I like recording on my MacBook until today. So that was definitely a lesson that I learned. All right. And what's next? Let's see. Oh, next lesson I learned that I want to build a tribe, not just followers, not just listeners. I am shooting for building a tribe. Like, I didn't realize how much I love having a tribe until people showed me that they were a part of the tribe. Like when the episode would be late and I have people, Richie, what's going on? Where you at? What's up? You know, when I would have people reach out to me saying that, or reach out to me to get clarification on episodes, like that was love, y'all. That was love. I was super excited about that. And so I realized I want to build more of a tribe. And so what I'm doing is I'm building, I'm continuing to build, episode by episode. I want to ensure that I don't want just followers. Okay. I can care less about followers, but genuine people who support the kid and y'all support what I'm doing and y'all liking the information. That's what I want. I want a tribe. So I'm speaking life. Okay. I truly believe in speaking life. And so next year, 2021, I'm for certain I'm going to do a better job of building a tribe. But it's like, I have to be, I could be really hard on myself. This was brand new. Okay. And in podcasting, I've done damn good. So I just got to be, take the wins as they come. But I did learn a lesson as to how I want to build a tribe for 2021. And also I'm building a Patreon page for where me and the tribe are going to be. So that way I can have videos. I can get more in depth. I could do all of the, the different talk, that everybody else ain't going to get a chance to get. Patreon going to be like family talk, for my tribe. Okay. Y'all going to be part of the family. The podcast going to be for, family, everybody else. Patreon, that's where me and the tribe gonna hang out. Okay, so that's coming up next year. Y'all look out for them details. And then also marketing. Y'all, I just said I don't like promoting myself, and that was something for me because I'm not really good at promoting myself. I'm too humble. I don't like saying, oh yeah, I know this, I know that, I do this, I do that. And I didn't like getting on like Instagram and stuff, doing it. And I was just like, girl, if we're going to build this audience, girl, you gotta get up on, on the Instagram and you got to do something. So that's something that I learned, and I will be doing more of that. And lastly, I want to talk to y'all about growth, because I am fully aware that I want the podcast to grow. And I think I've come up with some directions in which I want the podcast to grow. And so next year, y'all can look for me combining my co-parenting journey along with my mindfully rich journey in the podcast, because I've been realizing I'm multifaceted. I have so many different things that are going on, and I have stories that I need to tell that I haven't told yet because I didn't know how to brand them. But I just realized I'm just going to go ahead and just combine this all into one. God has given me a testimony, and I want to ensure that if somebody's blessing is tied to my words, that I am sharing all the words that I need to share. So next year you will be hearing a little bit more about the co-parenting realm along with the mindfully rich realm. I'm going to find a way that I'm going to combine those two together. So y'all go ahead and look for that. And also I am growing I'm creating a website, and I have created some ebooks. I got some e-courses coming up. Some products, y'all just don't know. Okay. 2021 is going to be opportunity year. Okay. That I am going to claim. Okay. Because it is going to be marvelous. Y'all just don't know. I've been in the dungeon working it up like these. Y'all don't even know. I've been so pumped up, and I got so much stuff, so much wisdom and knowledge that I want to go ahead and share with y'all. And I'm excited for that. So y'all go ahead and look out for that. And so that's for the most part, that's it. And I just wanted to make sure that I thanked y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of y'all for listening to Mindfully Rich Podcast. If you've been here for each and every one of the episodes, the 41 episodes, I appreciate y'all. Y'all don't know. I hope God instores blessings over all of y'all life. Thank you so much for listening. Like always, y'all know, share. Share it with everybody in your circle, people outside your circle. That's the only way that I'm going to grow. And I appreciate y'all being a part of this dream for me, because I am trying to go to bigger, and I'm going to bigger heights next year. That's what I can see. Because I know that I'm a subject matter expert, I would like to gain more exposure. And so please, y'all, keep listening, keep sharing. Make sure you follow the podcast, because I'm finally out here on the podcast page. Check me out on IG at mindfully_rich_podcast. And that's it. I hope each and every one of you have a prosperous new year. And I hope that y'all move into the new year with a new attitude. And y'all just be blessed. And until next time, until next year, when I hit y'all with another one.